Welcome to another episode of the 5-Star Talk podcast with JayBee and Millie.
Hi guys.
Now here we have an amazing guest. It's TJBurns.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. So we have been admiring your content for a while now. I think the first video we saw of yours was an amiibo card unpacking. Oh, and those things are just so addictive.
I know, I literally love doing them. I've probably spent a bit too much money on them, but hey ho, what can you do?
I mean, oh my God, it's just, they always do so well and we get so much engagement with it, and that's the problem, because not only are they fun to do, but when there's so many comments, I mean, predominantly the ones for us are, oh my gosh, why do you guys only have 3 cards per pack? But
I know.
Oh my gosh, they're just so much fun. And like, I think Millie is so
of the
close.
guys in America.
Oh my gosh, I know, I have no idea why they've done that, but they're just so fantastic. I mean, even if we only get 3, I think they're worth it.
I mean, I'd be quite happy with 6 in a pack, but
I mean, when you're trying to collect there's like over 400 of them, I guess it is quite hard.
How's the collection going for you?
Mine's not too bad actually. I got quite a good stack. I don't even know how many cards I got. Maybe like 100, maybe 150. Wow. So I mean, in terms of the whole collection, it's not the best, but
no,
yeah,
but
I've got
it's
all right.
definitely
I don't really have many villages I have though.
It's definitely like a full series at that point though, because there's like 4 separate series of 100 cards to get, and it's good.
Yeah.
Have you been able to find those official cards, or are you using like a ring binder folder?
I don't even have mine in a folder yet, but I've got like some Pokemon cards and stuff, and I have a Volt X ring binder, which are really good. But it's quite advertised. Quite like a lot of people and YouTubers use it with all this Pokemon hype going on, so they're really good. So I'd recommend.
Awesome. I mean, we've got like this ring binder thing because I think we've nearly finished our collection right now, which is kind of bittersweet because every pack we unboxed off channel, I'm kind of regretting. I wish we could just do it all over again.
Yeah, because you can get actual Animal Crossing ring binders and stuff, can't you, for each series?
Yeah, they've been sold out for the longest time. When they reprinted the amiibo cards, they didn't reprint them, they didn't republish them, which is a bit of a shame, but.
Yeah, because I remember when I first got into it, like I thought it'd be a good idea for the channel, something a bit different, and I really enjoyed like opening packs and stuff. And when I started getting into it, like they weren't in stock in the Nintendo store or anything, so I was actually paying like £15 a packet from like someone on eBay, and I'm just like, for God's sake, if I waited like a month later, I could have got like so much more packs for my money because they're like so much cheaper now.
That's so true. Like we managed to find some series. What was it? What did we find? Was it series 2?
2 online for Amazon, but other than that, like you said, you could be paying for series 1 and 4. You could pay up to like £28 for a packet of 3 amiibo cards. It was insane.
I know.
And even now, they've kept the value. Like some cards still go for like, I think the last one I needed was Molly, and she's like a little duck, and she was going for like £35 on eBay, and it's like, how? They're in stock. Why are people doing this still?
It's madness.
Literally, before the reprint as well, Marshall, I was checking eBay just to see how much they sold for, and like the last sold Marshall was like 60 quid, and I was like, what? £60 for one little amiibo card? It's actually crazy.
It really is insane.
Gosh. So I guess the topic that we're gonna first touch upon is the upcoming Game Awards. So these Game Awards are going to be streamed on December the 10th. It's it's like a big deal. I think it's become a lot more prominent now. So what is everyone's kind of opinions on that?
Should we talk about like each individual category or just like overall?
I mean, we've like handpicked a few of the categories that are more prominent. I'm not sure if you've got them up in front of you, but the first one that I want to touch upon is the best mobile game.
Yep, I have them up in front of me.
So yeah, the ones that there is to choose from, admittedly, I've only played one of. So there is Among Us, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, and Pokemon Cafe Mix. So the only one I've actually played is Among Us, so that's obviously the one that I'd be backing, but I know JayBee especially is a big Pokemon fan, so I don't know if they've got a different angle on that.
Yeah, Cafe Mix was announced, and I think it was released the same day as the direct for the Isle of Armor DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I haven't really played so much of it. I've been watching a lot of it on YouTube, and I know some people that do play it. Like, I think our friend Annalise plays it. But in terms of the others, I'm not entirely sure about that. I mean, TJ, what titles have you played from this list?
I mean, I've played Among Us a lot, probably a bit too much, and I do really enjoyed that. I haven't played Call of Duty Mobile, but I played PUBG Mobile, and I think mobile gaming is an amazing thing, but as someone who's always kind of had access to a console or a gaming PC, I'm not really into mobile games that much. Like, I don't really play them, so I feel like something like Call of Duty and PUBG, I'd 100% rather play it on like a console rather than mobile. I know Genshin Impact kind of just took the world by storm, but I don't know how that does on the mobile as well. So I'm a bit biased. Yeah, but I've literally only played Among Us, so I'll probably vote for that.
I mean, it's so
random how it became popular as well.
It is. I think it's been around for a few years, and it is one of those things where there's been some discussion on whether it should win Game of the Year because it wasn't released this year, but I kind of think it deserves its shot at the end of the day.
Yeah, like, it only really came to light predominantly this year, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably is the most played game out of all those categories, though. I can't see, I feel like because it's free and easily accessible to everyone. I'm not too sure about that one. Do you have to pay for like Call of Duty Mobile? I assume you do.
I mean, I'm not sure. I think you do. I think, you were saying how you prefer console gaming and stuff. I think I would agree with that because Among Us is one of the only games that I've played on my phone where it's not a case of, oh yeah, you now need to buy this separately as like an additional thing to unlock being able to do this. And it's just like, I do think it's the first game that's just been enjoyable and really just addictive almost, but without having to put in extra money every time you want to unlock something new.
Oh, to be fair, Call of Duty Mobile is free. I just checked.
Yeah, same. I mean, it's got in-app purchases, but the reviews are pretty good, and it is free, so...
Yeah, 100 million. Wait, 100 million plus downloads. Pretty cool.
I mean, it does seem like a decent time. I will admit that I'm very much in the same boat as I haven't mobile gamed for the longest time, until the longest. Like, I was into the kind of Clash of Clans scene a few years ago. I was too. Yeah, that was like my thing. I was fully addicted to that. And then I don't know, I've just never really mobile gamed until Among Us. So I think that's definitely the one that I would be backing.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like, literally, I just remembered that the one game I can generally say I proper like mobile game was Clash Royale, and I was really good at one stage. Like, I was proper like making my way up like international leaderboards and stuff, but then I just stopped playing.
Wow.
But not gonna lie, I put a lot of money into that game as well. But that was the only mobile game I actually like consciously played often. But other than that, I don't play anything else apart from Among Us. That's only been like recently.
I never got into Clash Royale. I know my younger brother did, and I don't know, it was just one of those things where I was just too addicted to Clash of Clans at the time that I didn't really want to find something else to get addicted to.
See, I remember JayBee bragging about Clash of Clans, being like, what was it? He used to be like, I'm in the most fundamental clan in Lancashire, and it was just this thing that he'd always say. So his brother played it, and his brother had this little group of his school friends, and JayBee used to go around like, oh, well, I'm in the most fundamental clan in Lancashire. It was so funny.
Then they kicked me off because I didn't do the clan wars, and they wouldn't let me back in. I tried to rejoin, and they just wouldn't let me, and I was like, oh, okay. And I think that's when I stopped playing.
I just remembered as well, how can I talk about mobile gaming without talking about Pokemon Go?
Oh, gosh!
That literally, that took the world by storm. I was playing that for like flipping months over summer when it came out.
That didn't even register to me, wow.
That used to be such a prominent game for you, JayBee. Like, the first time JayBee ever came to stay with my parents when we met, he had Pokemon Go on his phone. And every time we were driving anywhere in the car, he'd be like, oh my gosh, there's a Pokemon. And so every time he's in the car with my parents, I was like, oh, does he still play that silly game?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, mate, yeah. I remember in the summer, I went out with like all my friends to like a place called Holland Park in London. and it closes at a certain time. I think it's like 8 or 9 p.m. And we were literally like, it had Charmander spawners there, and we had like a app which tells you when they're going to spawn in certain places. So we literally spent like 12 hours there, and we like got locked in the park and had to like jump the fence to get out because we were just trying to catch as many Charmanders as we could.
That's amazing.
That is epic. And they've just made it compatible with Pokemon Sword and Shield now. Have you managed to try out that? Because the way they've set it up looks a bit odd.
I haven't tried out the new stuff. I tried, not converting, but transferring my Pokemon through like Pokemon Home to my console. But that was it really. But I haven't actually played the new Pokemon Sword and Shield like DLCs and stuff.
No, it's not everyone's cup of tea. There's a lot of criticism on it, but I'm enjoying it personally. But like, oh my gosh, I actually forgot about Pokemon Go until this conversation. I saw it a few days ago because they've announced that I think it's Generation 6 they're being brought over to it. But oh my gosh, I'm probably going to get fully addicted now after this. That's crazy.
Yeah, I loved it. But yeah, I think for this, it's definitely Among Us in my opinion.
So I guess the next category that we'll move on to is Best Multiplayer. Now, this one is very interesting.
So for Best Multiplayer, we do see the return of Among Us. That's another kind of award that it could win. But it's also nominated Animal Crossing New Horizons, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, and Valorant. How are you thinking in terms of those games for Best Multiplayer?
Well, I've played literally all of them apart from Valorant. So, but I've seen other people play that game, but I mean, I just never got into it. But that's very hard because it's such different games. Like Among Us is amazing. Like you can play it with anyone. Like you can play it with mobile players. Like everyone's kind of got access to it. Animal Crossing, obviously, like it's only for Nintendo Switch players. It's probably never going to reduce in price. I think like when it first came out, it's like 60 quid. It probably still is on Nintendo eShop. Warzone in itself was a mad game. Everyone plays that. And then like, I love Fall Guys as well. Like, I can generally say I've played like all 4 of those games, and I've enjoyed like every single one. So it's really difficult. I don't even know. Oh god.
Do you think
it's very much? I feel like one thing.
I was going to say, do you think any of them have a better multiplayer option than the others? For example, we love Animal Crossing, and I think we'd, say it's been one of our favourite games for this year, but we wouldn't, for Best Multiplayer, I don't think we'd even consider it because, the internet can be such a really poor issue for that. And so for all it's an amazing game, I think we'd rule it out from Best Multiplayer.
Yeah, because we try and do like little events where we get people over for like a game, or I guess if for lack of a better comparison, Monopoly on Animal Crossing, and inviting say more than like 3 people over at a time. If one person gets knocked off, we all have to do the dodo code again, and it's very hectic.
Yep, as an Animal Crossing streamer, literally, I've had streams where I've tried to do like fashion shows and visit people. Like people come to my island for like giveaways and games, and we've literally just been. I think I remember in one stream we had an hour of people trying to join, and like when it got to like the 6th or 7th person, they keep on disconnecting, and it literally just killed my heart. I'm not even gonna lie. So I think Nintendo could do so much with Animal Crossing multiplayer, in my opinion. Like they could add mini games. They could add, like, if they just did quick matchmaking and stuff, it could be literally spectacular. And I think it's not that hard to do. So I agree with you. I think like the multiplayer could be far, far, far better. And it is very frustrating, like waiting 20 minutes just to have people join your island. But I think it's still a good game. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating, and they could like do so much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, like it's one of our favorite games. But even when the multiplayer does work, it is so limited. Like I think I had Millie over a few days ago, and I actually forgot that you couldn't place anything down on your island or pick anything up, and it's like, what the heck? What is this? What were we supposed to do?
I mean, I think that
fashion show.
Yeah, I think again I'd have to say Among Us for the best multiplayer. I mean, admittedly, we've only played 2 out of the 5.
I've seen lots of Fall Guys. Because obviously we've got friends that are streamers, and they streamed Fall Guys when that was the big game for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't really seem captivating though. It just, I don't know, something about it just didn't capture me.
I absolutely loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I literally played it again for like the first time in 3 months, like 2 days ago, and I still really enjoy it. It's just something very light and breezy, and like I guess you can like. I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I'm not too bad at it. Like I can make it to the final quite a lot, and I think that does kind of get my heart pounding, and I really do enjoy it. But I guess if you keep on like dying all the time, it can get quite frustrating. But it's just so different. But I think Fall Guys is dead now, so I'd probably rule that out as best multiplayer. It's just not really relevant anymore. Like it's still played, but Warzone and Among Us I definitely played more.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see what gets the best multiplayer.
I mean, I've heard that with the Game Awards, your votes don't really count. It isn't, we're going to count up votes at this time and then announce it. I think they have already pretty much predetermined it. So that's a bit interesting as well. Like, I don't know how that works. But in terms of this, it just seems like whatever the kind of judge or the presenter decides at the time will win. I think it's going to go to Among Us. I do.
I think if it was to votes, it'd be really difficult because I feel like literally all the Nintendo players and sort of like younger audience would probably vote for Animal Crossing. Like all the sort of older gamers who are into first-person shooters would vote for probably Warzone, and then just kind of like everyone else, like between like Among Us or Fall Guys. I don't think Valorant will get much.
Yeah.
So I feel like it would probably be like tied between them, or a lot of like splits, like 25% and 30% for each. No clear winner really.
I think you've raised some really interesting points there, because I do think that, like you said, there's going to be categories, and people don't necessarily vote based on what the category is, but vote because of what the game is. Yeah. Like, if you look at the audience,
I played that game.
Like a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, Animal Crossing, I love that game, let's vote for that, and not have much regard for the fact that we're talking about a multiplayer game, and the functions on multiplayer is actually really limited.
Yeah. That is a really good point, because I know that initially it's just you kind of choose what you know initially, and that's the thing. I mean, I don't think Animal Crossing will win, because I think there's so much crossover with Animal Crossing and Among Us, surprisingly, because that's kind of been relevant for a while now, to the point where a lot of Animal Crossing creators that we see, and I know you've done it on yourself as well, TJ, they're all trying to get their community in a game of Among Us, like kind of either off stream or on stream. And so I kind of feel that a lot of the Animal Crossing community have some love for that game as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. I do agree.
So
I think it's just very interesting. Who knows?
For this category, I guess it's a toss-up. It could be either of them. It just depends on what's decided on the day. I guess I'm predicting Among Us, but it could be Warzone, because I know Call of Duty is very popular.
Yeah, but even so, like Nintendo's had, I feel, quite a slow year. They haven't really released like loads of amazing games. I feel like Animal Crossing's been their big one this year, and obviously like the Pokemon updates. So I feel like, I don't know, say they released like a brand new Mario game, or like Zelda Breath of the Wild or something. I feel like if that came out at like the same time, or like 4 months after Animal Crossing came out, I feel like a lot of people would kind of jump off it and play those other games. But because there hasn't really been too much like new blockbuster titles, I think everyone's just kind of stuck with Animal Crossing, because that's kind of what's available in new, or Pokemon pretty much. There's not that much options.
Yeah, I think, there was certainly a time this year when everybody was like, I need something to do that I can do at home. What games have just come out? And like you said, Animal Crossing was Nintendo's only really big title. I mean, there was All Stars for Mario, but that came a lot later down the line, whereas if we look at kind of like first isolation time when people needed to really amuse themselves a bit more, Animal Crossing was definitely the only game.
I mean, I do feel so sorry for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Like that came out at the same time. Oh, I was addicted to it, and I still want to like play kind of the post game. Oh, but that got overshadowed by Animal Crossing so much, because that it wasn't even in the competition at that time. It was Animal Crossing versus Doom Eternal, and poor Mystery Dungeon was just sat there like, oh, I'm here too, and I was like, no.
Literally, I completed the main story, and like I think I've actually got like 1 or 2 videos on my channel, and it was an absolute stinker. Like literally, just no one cared about it, no one watched it. I was like, all right, not doing that. Then I'll just play it in my own time.
Oh, it was just fantastic. The art style was incredible. The soundtrack, just everything about that game. I wish that I wish that had a fairer chance. Like, if that came out at any other time, even if it came out when the Origami King came out, I just feel like it would have been a lot more appreciated. And it just upsets me that it isn't.
I feel like All Stars did really well, but on that note, like, depending on your age, not gonna lie, I have all the games. I have a Nintendo 64. I have a GameCube with like Sunshine on it, and I have my Wii downstairs with Galaxy on it. Like, I can play all these games, but for some reason, I just bought it anyway because I wanted to play Sunshine on my Switch.
Yeah, same.
But
same.
Like, it's just a nostalgia trip.
I mean, JayBee said that people have not played it. JayBee said that one of the like things for him, one of the appeals for that with him, was just because like he'd played all these things, like, you know, Galaxy was one of his favourite games, but being able to have it on that handheld like mode was just kind of like, oh my gosh, I want to see what it's like to play this game in handheld.
So she could play Galaxy on a plane, and that's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I got it as well. Just to play Sunshine mainly for me. That's my favourite one, not gonna lie. I played that growing up, loved it.
So I haven't played that
just
yet.
To be able to play that wherever.
At all.
Oh, Sunshine's amazing. I love it so much.
I'm going to, and I can't wait, because it does look really cool.
Yeah, JayBee started with 64, then he went to Galaxy, because that was his favourite, and Sunshine, with it being like a completely new game to him, you've saved that till last, haven't you?
It'll be great in the winter as well, because it's so sunny. It will take you away from all that misery of the cold, and it'll make you feel all warm.
The music in that is absolutely amazing as well.
And
the end level is called Corona Mountain, which is hilarious.
Oh gosh.
I literally did like a tweet saying 2020 summed up in a level, Corona Mountain.
Versus Corona. So I guess the next topic now is Game of the Year. Now, I guess this is going to be the one that's heralded as the award to kind of get, because, you know, Game of the Year is a bit like an all-rounder. So this is a very interesting lineup of games.
It is. So the ones nominated are Animal Crossing New Horizons again, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. So, which ones of these have you played?
So, I've played, obviously, Animal Crossing. I've watched a gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima, I can never say it, which looks pretty good. And I've watched some gameplay of Last of Us 2. I haven't played the Final Fantasy or Hades, though. But I don't know, it's really hard, though. Because I feel like I want to get Ghost of Tsushima, and I want to play it. And I'm pretty sure they've added, like, a sort of co-op gameplay now you can do. And that really does appeal to me, and I'll probably love that game and play it like with one of my mates for like a long time. I played The Last of Us 1, which is an amazing game. Didn't play the second one though. So I don't know, it's really hard. Again, if it comes down to the critics, I don't think Animal Crossing is probably going to be up there. Because I feel like most of them are kind of like really detailed story games, and like, that story can take you on a journey, can make you like really emotional, and like you get really invested in the characters.
Yeah.
And like, as great as Animal Crossing is, it's like I'm not really invested in, you know, like Lolly or Judy or whoever like that much. Like if they like, it's not like they're gonna die or anything. They'll just be there even if I don't play it for a year and be like, you know, oh TJ, haven't seen you for a year.
Yeah, that's very true. I think, like you said, it depends on how things are kind of wrapped up, be it if it's just a general perception of the people that run the Game Awards or if it went to the vote. Because I think if it was voted for, similar to you were saying on, you know, the last one, I think there'd be an entire audience that went for Animal Crossing, but then I think 100%. the opposite side of that people that didn't want Animal Crossing would be tied on a few of these games. Like, I think there's a few that might be like categorized together. So like, I don't know, maybe Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us, people might kind of either be tied on those two games, and they're kind of aimed at very different audiences. So Animal Crossing is kind of a standout category there, in that has its own audience, but there are a few of them that have more than one kind of, that have similar target audiences. So there'd be more divide.
Well, Nintendo have had the craziest year. Like I'm pretty sure I saw some article, like some ridiculous statement, like their profits are up like 200% or something like that, and like they sold this amount of Animal Crossing games and like this amount of Nintendo Switches during the lockdown. And I think during like lockdown and, you know, coronavirus and that, Animal Crossing and Nintendo have really thrived. So I think the audience there is just huge. And if it's like one Nintendo game versus all the rest, I think that audience alone, if it was down to votes, would probably just, propel that game forward. Yeah. But if it's just down to critics choosing, who flipping knows? It's all subjective.
Like, I am very much of the belief where I would be thrilled to see Animal Crossing win because of what we mentioned, just because of how prevalent it was during the lockdown and just the escape it's really offered. But then again, I guess like you're saying, rightly so, I guess there'd be a bigger audience for some of these games because I think for some of them you could play it on Xbox or PlayStation or PC, whereas Animal Crossing New Horizons is just for Nintendo Switch, which there was a shortage of during that lockdown period as well. So who knows?
I mean, at one point people were buying, I think it was the Animal Crossing Switch, just because it was going up in value. You couldn't get them anywhere and people could resell them for more than you could get them. Say like Nintendo Online sold them for I think $350, and the second they went out of stock, they all appeared on eBay for $500. Like, it was a real money-making thing for some people. It was insane.
Well, I just quickly googled how much copies of Animal Crossing has been sold, and apparently 22 million copies have been sold.
Wow.
So it's nearly the best-selling. I don't know how much Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has. I know that's the best one at the moment, but I don't think so. Let's see.
Okay,
I mean, I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for me is one of my favourite games for the Switch, just because it's easy to pick up. Just like with Animal Crossing, like it just seems like you do the same thing kind of day in day out. You have tasks that you need to do, and sometimes if you leave it for a while, then it leaves more works created, like the weeds and stuff. Whereas Mario Kart 8 I've loved just because you can go back to it whenever you want, just have a simple game.
Yeah,
and
28 million copies have sold of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
So in less than a year, Animal Crossing's only 6 million behind it.
Yeah, that is actually crazy. I also googled the other two games. Ghost of Tsushima's got 5 million copies sold, and Last of Us 2's got 4 million copies sold. So I mean, literally, if it was down to votes, Animal Crossing would win.
I didn't realise how. Wow.
I mean, Animal Crossing seems to have more than the other 5 combined, which is insane. I mean, some people have been buying more than one copy of the game just so they can have more than one island. We were speaking to somebody yesterday who has like 2 copies of the game, 2 Switches, just so they can have more than one island. It's honestly insane.
I mean, if I had money to waste, I would definitely do that rather than flattening my island, and I haven't even built it up yet. I definitely just get another Switch and just start again.
Oh, I mean, those Animal Crossing Switches are back in stock now in the Nintendo UK shop, which is a bit surprising.
Because I know the hype's died down a bit for me.
I know they were doing it, and they were restocking it in America, like with the Amiibo cards as well. But again, they've kind of shadow dropped these things for the UK because they did an announcement for the US saying, we're bringing Amiibo cards back in stock, and also Animal Crossing Switches, and there wasn't any confirmation of that in the UK as well. They just kind of happened, which is a bit odd.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's a smaller market or something, but I feel like the UK still buys a lot of computer games. Doom Eternal sold 3 million copies as well, so literally Animal Crossing did a madness.
Did you get a chance to play Doom Eternal? Because I know they just announced as recently as yesterday, I believe, that they're finally bringing Doom Eternal to the Switch later on this month.
I did not play it. My dad's a big my dad's a PC gamer as well, so I always kind of get his hand-me-down PCs, which is great. But he's a big fan of Doom. I don't even think he played Doom Eternal though.
I mean, would you buy it on the Switch? Because I think it actually should be out by the time this episode releases.
I probably wouldn't buy it on the Switch just because I have so I got a PS4 and I've got a gaming PC as well. Generally, games seem to be cheaper on gaming PC. Not gonna lie, but probably most of the time 10, 15 quid. And I just feel like graphics wise I'd rather play that sort of thing with amazing graphics, nice and smooth as well, gameplay. And I think I'm actually using the Smash GameCube controller for my Switch. That's my favorite one. And the little yellow sort of right D stick or right analog stick rather is just so small. For first person shooters, even Fortnite, I would never play it on the Switch. I'd rather play it on PC or PlayStation just because I've got control freaks and just better controllers. I can't play a first person shooter with my controller on the Switch, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And there's so much flipping drift as well. People always complain about that.
Well, bearing in mind that that's probably going to be out just before the Game Awards, do you think that could add a level of hype with Nintendo to kind of detract from Animal Crossing a little bit? Available on Nintendo itself?
I think it's a bit too little too late at this point, because I would like to get Doom Eternal, but here's the thing, same with Jurassic World Evolution, which we did get and we do love, but this isn't going to be a physical release, and I know that I'm probably speaking as a dinosaur right now, but I just have a real problem paying in the region of £50 for what I kind of perceive as just
an old game that was released,
just pixels that are just flying into the Switch console that I could potentially lose. I can't put it on the shelf, I can't put it with the collection, and it's just, if Doom Eternal was getting a physical release on Switch, I'd have it pre-ordered. I wouldn't make any content to do with it because I think it's a bit too severe going straight from Animal Crossing to a game like that, but I'd play it personally. But I just don't know. Now that it's a download only, I really don't know. I think I don't know. It's just a problem for me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm going to play it. But then you could say the same thing with 3D All-Stars, because that's the digital copies only up to a certain date.
See, they did do a physical release, and I think both of them are limited. A physical release and a digital, they are going to stop completely. And I think March, they said? I don't know if they said March. But sometime early next year.
I know there is a date.
It seems so strange that they've released something with like a time constraint on it.
Yeah, it is weird. Well, it's just like you can buy it until then. You can still play it afterwards, for sure, right?
Yeah, you can still play it. It just seems strange that you can't buy it after that point. But like you said, it's something that's available on so many other consoles that it's like, you could still play it.
Yeah, but then again, what like JayBee says, if it was a physical copy, and only a certain amount was being sold or only produced for a certain amount of time, it makes it more like a collectible game.
Yeah.
Whereas in 50 years' time, are they going to be like just a Switch with 3D All-Stars on it selling for like, I don't know, 20 grand or something?
Yeah. To be fair, JayBee ordered one copy of it just to keep it in its plastic and not open it. He's very much a little hoarder, aren't you, JayBee?
Definitely. I mean, I wish it could come with like more gravitas, a bit more packaging, but I think Nintendo is at the stage where, as much as people do criticize the limited time that they're going to run the game, they can do it, because could you imagine if Xbox tried to do that? We're going to limit a game like Call of Duty until March next year, and then whoops, PlayStation's doing it forever. And because Nintendo's got so many exclusives, I think that they can get away with it more than most other companies.
That's true. Yeah. But I guess because it's a re-release as well, it's fine.
Yeah. Just because, like you said, it's available in other places. So the last category that we've got highlighted here is the best family game. And again, we have Animal Crossing there. There's also Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. Fall Guys is back with the Ultimate Knockout. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, which we've not touched on yet this video. Minecraft Dungeons, and we briefly mentioned Paper Mario the Origami King. So do any of those stand out to you as a kind of best family game?
Well, you guys have played the new Mario Kart, haven't you? I think I saw a video of you guys unboxing it.
I mean, we've played
how have you found that game?
One thing that we said is, because this is a family category, you'd have to be a family of millionaires to make it a family game, because for one car on its own, it's like £150. So if you've got a family of 4 people, you need to spend £600 to have a family game. And so to us,
Well, it'll be more than that. Much, much, much more than that. Because it's one... You can't just control the cart with Joy-Cons. You need to buy the cart, which is £99, plus another Switch. And the the cheapest option for that would be a Switch Lite, which is about 200.
200. So you're looking at £300 per person.
Yeah.
So £1,200 for a family of 4 to play Mario Kart. So we found that it's not really a family game from that perspective. And for all we've enjoyed it, we do have like a few kind of flaws with the game in that for all the cars really durable, we've done loads of durability tests. The camera's not that clear, it gets really pixelated really easily. It goes out of signal quite quickly, so you have to be really kind of compact with the courses you create. There's little gates, but if you drive into them because things are lagging a bit, then they move and it ruins the course for the next person. So for all, it's a really cool concept, and you know, JayBee does think that it's going to transform the future of gaming at some point once some of those issues have been ironed out a little bit. I'd say it is very much kind of a prototype of that type of gaming.
Yeah, like, if it was up for Game of the Year, I would kind of back it to an extent that I think it does a lot that's out of the box. It does a lot for technology, you know, engineering going forward. But for Best Family category, I think it's a bit of a joke.
Can you play it online, or is it just literally at home, sort of local multiplayer?
It's just local multiplayer.
Yeah. Like, in all honesty, like, I love Mario Kart. I've loved like every single Mario Kart I've played. From like, I think my favorite one was probably like Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube. It's one of my favorites. And obviously Mario Kart Wii is sick. Mario Kart 8 is amazing. But yeah, with this one, I was kind of just like, I don't really know why they released it. Like, I agree with you on what you said about like changing, you know, gaming and like sort of like top engineering and innovation and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. But yeah, it just seems like expensive, and depends on your house as well. What happens if you have, like, how does it work on carpet? And if you haven't got a big room or like lots of space, you can only do like sort of restricted maps and stuff that you create. And then, I mean, if you play it like 50 times, you probably in every room of your house, you probably get bored of it.
It doesn't even have split screen. That's the thing.
You can play it on split screen.
No, it doesn't even have split screen. So you literally, it is quite literally one switch per card, and it's just. It shouldn't be Best Family. I don't understand. I guess it's family friendly.
Like you said, though, if you've got a small house and if it's a family playing, you have to fit an entire race course, 4 people with their switches kind of sat round with their feet up on the chairs so they're not going to like knock the car out of the way. I do think it's quite... It is quite a bit of a very crazy game to try and play as a family.
Yeah, I don't think it's the Best Family game for sure. Definitely not.
So looking at some of the other games on there, I mean, we've mentioned Animal Crossing a lot, and we know that that's kind of an age rating where it's family friendly, and you know, Nintendo do tend to pride themselves on that.
Yeah, I think that would be great for family, because we've toured islands where there's siblings' houses on that island. They play with their mum.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
so cool.
We've toured one island where a mother and daughter shared a Halloween island together. That was quite sweet. So it's definitely, you know, ticking the family box there. Another one that I think JayBee was quite interested in is the Crash Bandicoot 4. Is that something that you've come across at all?
I haven't played it. Again, I've watched some gameplay of it, but yeah. It's not multiplayer though, is it? It's literally just like single player games that you can just take it in turns to clear the levels.
Yeah, that is a good point.
It doesn't have multiplayer aspects.
Same with...
So it's like, these are all Best Family games, but what does it mean by Best Family? Like
exactly.
family games? Or...
It's almost like by family, it means it's child friendly.
Yeah, I think that is what they mean, because if we're talking about like family, sort of like multiplayer, I guess that was kind of full in Best Multiplayer. So I'm guessing this is all just family friendly.
See, and to that extent then, I will again... You are absolutely right. This category is so ambiguous, because there's some really great ones, but then there's some, like we just mentioned with Home Circuit, that isn't really for the family. It's just family friendly, and by that regards, I don't know, I just feel that there's so much more they could have done. And I'll repeat this again, like Mystery Dungeon. Okay, I think that could have taken Origami King's place. I never played
Origami.
I never played Pikmin, but I guess that's been out as well.
Yeah, I played the demo. It's a cute game. I didn't buy the actual game though. Maybe I probably will eventually, but yeah.
I think 3D All Stars could have been up there, but again, that's just been shrouded with controversy. But I think I would have had that up there over the Origami King, and I did like the Origami King, but I do think if they're going to pick a Nintendo title that wasn't Animal Crossing, I don't understand why it's Origami King.
For me, the best part of Origami King was the pre-order bonus, the little origami set that came with it.
That was awesome.
I enjoyed doing that. I mean, how do you feel about seeing Fall Guys back on this category? Do you think that that's a really good family game?
So this category is now just like confused me. I think I've got a winner in my mind, but before I talk about that, I think Fall Guys is a great family game. It's definitely fun for all ages. It was free. I got it for free on PlayStation because it was free for PS Plus. Otherwise, it's like £12 now, I think. And I mean, it's really fun. Anyone can play. It's literally just like back then, like when it first released, it wasn't too complicated. It's literally just like 4 buttons you have to press. Now they've kind of got a bit more thinking levels in there for the new season, but it's pretty much really easy and like anyone can play and have fun. So I do think it's a family-friendly game, and I think it's enjoyable. But I think for me, it's going to be Animal Crossing. Like you said, touring like islands and having mothers and daughters and siblings all play on one island. I think it's an amazing family-friendly game, and also it fits in with the family.
Yeah,
so kind of for this ambiguous category, kind of ticks all the boxes for me. Crossing, so I give it clear winner Animal Crossing. Not gonna lie, and Minecraft Dungeons. I mean, I haven't even played that, so I don't know. It's difficult.
I mean, it certainly is.
Because what would you guys say?
I mean, I think I'd personally say, and I mean, for me as well, it'd be Animal Crossing. And predominantly, I think they've recently done a new advert that really hints at that family aspect. So the last Animal Crossing advert I saw was like a mum sat on the sofa playing on a Switch, and then her daughter comes home and gets a Switch out of her bag like, oh, I'm just coming over to your island. So I feel like they have really hinted in their marketing at this being a family game.
Yeah, 100%. I think it is a very good game.
It genuinely is, and I think it is definitely the winner for this. Again, it's a bit difficult because I feel like even if it does mean best family-friendly one, it is still the obvious contender. Because if you think, like this is the only one where it stands out. Like Crash is great, but I think it's only on PS or it might be on Xbox. I'd imagine it would be actually. But Fall Guys is great. It was really popular, but I kind of feel like it was one of those ones where there was a clear peak and then a clear drop.
Yeah, it's gone.
Home Circuit, 100%. Very expensive, and also not really dead now, but out of stock in most places. And I've got no opinion on Minecraft Dungeon. Did you ever play that, or did you ever play Minecraft in general?
I've recently actually started playing Minecraft a lot in general, and I'm loving it at the moment. Minecraft Dungeons, from what I understand, is kind of like a sort of like Diablo 3, sort of like top-down. Is it MOBA? I think is the technical term. Sort of game. I've not played it. I'm sure it is probably fun and decent, but I mean, it doesn't really appeal to me right now.
No,
I might play it one day, but it's not at the top of my list, so it wouldn't even be a contender.
Yeah, I'd imagine it was interesting in the same way that I kind of reacted to when I heard about Minecraft story mode. Is like the whole point of Minecraft is to create things, and so it's a bit odd to imagine that happening in like, I guess, a more restrained setting or just a story, but I don't know, it might be worth a look in. And obviously,
but at the same time, Minecraft's been out for like 11 years, so I guess they're just trying to make some more money and bring some more aspects to it.
And I guess Paper Mario the Origami King. See, I don't think that's a bad game at all. Obviously, there's more that I'd want to see there. But that in comparison to Animal Crossing, I don't think there's any real discussion there about which one was more prominent this year. So Best Family, 100%. Animal Crossing, New Horizons.
Yeah, well, I mean, Animal Crossing is pretty much in like every flipping category anyway, so it's guaranteed to win one.
So
literally, best game of the year and best family. So Animal Crossing will probably win one.
Yeah, it's going to at least take home one award. And Among Us was nominated for 2 as well. And I feel quite confident that that'll at least take home one award because it has become really prominent. I think games like Among Us has become quite prominent this year because, like, in terms of lockdowns and things, they're really good multiplayer games that allows you to connect still with people. Like, through the channel, we've met people in America who we can play that with. I know JayBee's little brother is always like, oh, well, I can play this with my friends, and they've been playing that with their friends. So it's kind of like, it's really important to have a game that kind of connects people, and I think Among Us has really taken the lead with that this year.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it as well. And like you said, like I literally met so much great people and spoken to so much great people from like all across the world playing it as well. The only thing is when you're trying to stream it, some people just stream snipe you and it's annoying as hell.
Yeah, it can get quite annoying.
That, it's great.
And it's always best as well to, if you're playing it with like actual people, you know, I've tried doing a public lobby a few times and, you know, they can get quite annoying. There's a lot of people in there that just kind of like just deliberately press meeting all the time, just like ruin it for people. It's so annoying. But yeah, with friends, it's a good game.
Yeah, it's amazing. I do like it. I just like how it's free on mobile as well. It's like £4 on PC. So, I mean, I love playing it on PC and having like a whole big screen. But yeah, it's still a good price.
So yeah, I guess with that being said, oh my gosh, this is absolutely incredible. Now, are there any other topics that you wanted to discuss on the show, TJ, before we start to wrap up?
I mean, I guess we could talk about Animal Crossing for a little bit, and I guess YouTube in general as well.
Yeah, so that is interesting.
How did you guys find... Oh, go on, carry on, sorry.
Oh, no, honestly, I'm interested to hear what you've kind of got to say about this, because I just think this is an incredible topic that you've raised about YouTubing and Animal Crossing in general.
So, with Animal Crossing, obviously, they just released their 2 new updates. We had Turkey Day, first of all. What did you guys think of that?
See, I like Turkey Day a lot. I admire the items so much because unlike with Halloween, there were items that were only really good for Halloween. There wasn't really any generic creepy, it was just pumpkins. But with Turkey Day, the items are just so cute. You'd imagine them fitting perfectly with like a cottagecore vibe.
And not only the items, but the concept itself, like things like the sea creatures, you were finally seeing more of a use for them. Manila clams, like digging them up on the beach, they're normally just for fish bait, but they had more of a purpose now. The only thing that I feel like was a little bit of a letdown with it is a lot of people thought it was going to introduce cooking as a permanent feature on the game. Yeah. And it was just there for that one day.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, not going to lie, it's probably like, I agree with you, JayBee. I think the DIY recipes and stuff were amazing. However, for me, I think it was the most boring event so far. I didn't really, like, it was alright, but I mean, I was just searching around, like, literally digging stuff up and fishing loads to try and get I can't remember the fish, and like sea creature diving as well. And I don't know, I just felt it was like I was doing chores to do this level. Whereas with Halloween, I felt like it was fun because I was like talking to all my villagers, going to their houses, getting candy. I could scare them as well. I was getting loads of DIY recipes, and I don't know, I just felt like it was more of an enjoyable event. I feel like Turkey Day just felt like me doing chores, and then I get rewarded at the end if I did them right.
I can see where you're coming from with that, because I was almost ready to give up with one of the deep sea creatures. I'd been all the way around our island twice and not found a mussel, and I was just like, okay, I think this is it now. Like, if I don't get one now, I'm leaving it. I just can't. I can't do it anymore.
The first crab, I can't remember, it was like Doongris crab or whatever, I can't remember what it was called. And I invited some people over to my island, and someone just came and stole my crab. Like, I was sea creature diving, and someone was diving with me and just stole it from in front of me and got the crab. And I was, for God's sake,
oh my God.
I have to go like search again. So I don't know. It was just it was a bit frustrating for me. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I imagine, because they're one of the really rare ones. Like, we were quite lucky in that we went around our island houses, and one of them gave us the crab. Because otherwise, I do think I'd have given up. Because, like I said, I'd been around the island twice, and I'd already like struggled to find something as common as a mussel. So, yeah, I was really lucky. Yeah. One of our islanders gave us that, or it wouldn't have happened.
And also, so obviously Nintendo have stopped the skipping forward, and I'm in two minds about that. So first of all, I'm looking forward to Toy Day. However, I will not be playing Toy Day because my fiance Gabrielle's birthday is the 24th of December, and obviously 25th is Christmas Day, and then 26th is Boxing Day. Over that period, I'm going to be so busy doing stuff with like family and with Gabrielle that I won't have time to play. So I can't fast forward to actually play Toy Day, and then I'll probably have to play it like probably a week after it's already happened, and like go back in time just to play it. So I'm a bit sad that they've done that, but at the same time, I guess it's good. Well, actually, I don't know if it is good. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I completely get where you're coming from as well. Like with the lockdown and with students and stuff, I've not seen my parents since March, I think. And so we're going there for Christmas, and so I'm going to have a lot more on my mind than Animal Crossing on Christmas Eve. Like, I've got my brother had a baby this year, and I've not met them yet and stuff. So it's kind of like, you know, if we're over there, I'm going to be having a lot more on my mind than, you know, Animal Crossing Toy Day.
Jingles, chores.
But that being said, I feel like there's a few people in the community that we've come across that are like, that we've heard of at least anyway, that have been reporting islands for getting items early and stuff. So I feel like Nintendo are trying to fix that from happening. But so I can get why they've done it, and, you know, they don't want people to get spoilers, so everyone gets to enjoy the event without seeing what it's going to look like for those non-time travelers and stuff. And so I do see some aspects of it, but I also think that people do have a life outside of Animal Crossing that having time locks on things is gonna ruin. Like, the Animal Crossing has a special event for New Year. Could you imagine if that was time locked? Like, oh, 1 minute, I know it's New Year and it's the countdown, it's 2 minutes left to go. I just need to sign in on my Switch to say Happy New Year to my islanders first, if that's okay. Don't want to miss them fireworks or anything like that. So I do think sometimes, you know, there has to be some level of consideration for the fact that we don't actually live on these islands for all we spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, because there's always been a debate against, like, you know, for time traveling and like against time traveling. And as a person who's kind of got a full-time job, and, you know, like, that she works sort of like 9 to 5 every day, and then has time in the evening to play these games. Like, for me, if I played Animal Crossing when I actually could play Animal Crossing, I would only be able to play it in darkness. Like, I remember I used to, like, when I first started the game, I didn't want to time travel, and I'd only be able to play it when it was dark. And I was like, I don't see my island in the daytime. I can't catch any of the fish or bugs in the daytime. So I literally had to time travel, otherwise I just can't play it. Or I have to wait till the weekend, but then my weekends are busy anyway. So I literally just don't have an opportunity to play it. So I'm very much looking forward to Toy Day, but I know I'm going to be playing it like literally probably a week after Christmas. I think I'll enjoy it more than Turkey Day, but yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, disappointed, but I kind of understand why they've done.
It does seem like a really cool event, like meeting Jingle and that sort of thing. There looks to be some really cool DIYs that's going to be available. I know some people have managed to get access to them despite the time lock, and they look like they're going to be really amazing. But so again, it's just that level of frustration that you can't appreciate it till afterwards. But kind of more on that, and this was a bit of an issue with Halloween as well. It looks like some of the best Christmas DIYs are locked until the 24th of December. So you can't get your island fully decorated until the day before. And again, that's if you have time. How do you kind of feel about that DIY being delayed sort of thing?
Kind of sucks. I think some people in my community have offered to give me some DIYs or like some items for Christmas, which is really nice. I know some are already out. I'm not really sure how they get some. I'm not even sure if it's the new ones or not. But I know loads of people kind of sending me Christmas stuff because I wanted to have like a seasonal entrance. So before the event happens, like I change it. So like I want to make a Christmas entrance now. So it'd be very, very frustrating if I was only allowed to kind of use the new DIYs the day before, because then Christmas is going to come and go. I won't have a seasonal entrance. I won't have used any of the new stuff, and then I'll kind of just forget about it once Christmas is gone.
Yeah, we found that at Halloween because we didn't time travel to Halloween.
The carriage was the big one.
Yeah, and on Halloween itself, you unlock that spooky carriage that we absolutely love, but we didn't get it until you'd finished decorating and you were taking your decorations down the next day. So it's just like, okay. So I think things like that get frustrating.
Yeah, and then I guess relating to Animal Crossing again, so obviously like this is the new update. I think they mentioned there's going to be a new one in January or something, and showed like Pave the peacock, something like that. But I think in terms of like YouTubers and stuff, how do you guys feel as like an Animal Crossing YouTuber in terms of like producing content? Do you still enjoy it? Do you find the game as exciting as you do when it first came out, or do you kind of feel the fatigue?
I mean, it's so weird because it's like the more I get burnt out personally, the more I enjoy making content. Like, if I'm bored with the base game, then I'm that much more hyped to do an island tour, to see what other people are doing, to kind of revamp my creativity with the game. But then, now that I'm starting to redecorate the island for winter, I kind of just can't stop. I'm a bit addicted, so I'm trying to reorganize where things are going to go, where I'm going to put some of the new items, and then when it's like time to make a video about something, it's, oh, okay, but can I just like pay off this incline? Can I just, spend a few more minutes planning out where I'm going to put this item? So it's a bit of a weird one, but I'm never not in love with the game. It's just sometimes I'm more in love with content creation, sometimes I'm more in love with just being lazy running about my island.
See, I'd say I'm a bit more on the reverse side of that I get burnt out with the game quite a lot because I predominantly do the decorating of the islands, and whenever I finish a design, it's like, okay, I'm done now. I'm not ruining it yet, so I don't have anything to do. And I can go 2 weeks without really logging into the Switch, and then you go back on and your islanders are like, oh, I thought you hated me, where have you been? And it's just like, no, I just needed time away from it because it can take so long to create an island design, and it's like, once you've done it, what do you do?
100%. I think it's really difficult being a like Animal Crossing streamer and YouTuber to like come up with sort of new concept. I feel like when you look at all the main Animal Crossing streamers and like content creators, they're all kind of doing the same thing. Some of them can come up with really creative videos, but it's like guaranteed, like if you look at everyone, someone's got like an island tour each week, someone's got visiting dream addresses, someone's got a fashion show, someone's got hunting for a villager. And I just feel like, I don't know, I want a really big update that brings something new to the game. I want like more multiplayer and stuff. I just want it to be like, I don't know, more engaging. I think for me, obviously I've been doing this for like 7 months now, like mainly Animal Crossing videos and stuff. Got like over 150 uploads, I think, of like Animal Crossing. I've done so many flipping streams of it. It's just like I'm kind of doing the same thing with like sort of the same people, especially because loads of people are in school and stuff. So I don't know, it's a bit frustrating, and I just want something like fresh and new.
Yeah.
So I've been like playing other games at the moment, and I am kind of putting more effort into my videos. I'm kind of like taking a step back from. I feel like it's so easy with Animal Crossing to be like, okay, I can literally produce a video like every day this week of visiting someone's island or something, an island tour, or I don't know, whatever. And I feel like I want to kind of take a step back from that and become more creative, but it's going to take like a longer process to make these creative videos, because I just feel like literally everyone's sort of doing the same thing, which is great, and there's like a 22 million people market for it. But I don't know, for me, I'm just kind of getting bored of doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and I think one thing that we kind of was thinking as well is, do we want our channel just to be Animal Crossing, or do we want to think about where it's going to go once the hype dies down? And so we started looking at other games as well. So Jurassic World Evolution was recently ported over to the Switch, and we bought that. And I do like a video of that at least once a week because I've been loving playing that. JayBee loves anything Mario, so he's kind of doing a video a week on that as well, and kind of branching out a little bit more because like you said, Animal Crossing, it seems to have got to a stage where anything that can be done and showcased seems to have been brought out now, and it's what else can you do, because everybody's found out all these things where like everyone's found out custom designs, so you can keep doing videos of custom designs, but ultimately everyone's slots are full and have a place on their island, so that kind of rules that out. Then you can say there's things like, one thing we're looking at doing is some Christmas flower art and flower designs, but then most people's islands are too full to fit that in anywhere, so it's just kind of like, what is there left to do, because most people have more or less completed their island now, and they're just kind of living life on their little island, speaking to the villagers every day, so it's kind of like, where can you actually go with this now? Yeah,
you're talking about your like snowflake speedrun video there.
Yeah. I see, I'd done one for Halloween but not recorded it. I did a pumpkin flower beautiful. Art, and it got, I think, like 200 likes on Twitter.
Was that 2,000?
And JayBee was like, why didn't you record this? Why didn't you record this? So it's like, okay, I'll do one for Christmas. So I guess that's something that I'm starting to do that I guess I've not seen that much, but it's still out there. Other people have done it. It seems like nearly every concept's been looked at now.
Yeah, and it is getting to a point where it's a bit thankless unless you're really, really passionate about the game. Like,
exactly,
I don't know what it is. Like, you could have, like, the best island tour in the world, and if you're a bit of a smaller creator, it could get maybe 100 views, which is absolutely excellent. That's amazing. But, and then it's like, the creators, like, got there early on. They've already got, like, the main monopoly on the kind of thing. Because everyone's already doing the same thing, like you've mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just a bit... I don't know. It's a passion project, but it isn't too rewarding at the best of times.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of at the stage where I'm going through, like, a bit of writer's block. So, like, now, like, similar to you guys, I kind of want to branch out and just do videos that I'm playing, like, games I'm playing and enjoy, and just make it creative and more entertaining, but also take a step back and be like, okay, let me actually try and make it, like, the best video I've ever made, and more editing, like, and just more of a storyline and engaging, I guess, and see how that goes. So I guess I'm a bit of a, like, writer's block with Animal Crossing. And, like, even when you look at a big channel, so for example, Chase Crossing just appeared out of nowhere and then, like, got so much subs and stuff, and, like, I still kind of check out his videos every now and then for inspiration. But at the same time, like, his videos aren't doing exactly great, and he hasn't really gained any more subscribers recently in, like, the past, like, sort of, like, month or so. So I feel like Animal Crossing is just kind of, like, dying out a little bit, and the only thing that will keep it alive is, like, a massive update. And it's like, these events are great, but it's just all decoration stuff. I think they need to really utilize that sort of engagement and multiplayer, especially in a time where games like Fall Guys and Among Us, because of the multiplayer aspect, have, like, really brought people together. But Animal Crossing has done that. But now, like you said, it's got its limitations. It needs something new and fresh, new multiplayer games. I don't know, bringing, like, some servers, or, like, I don't know, you could get 7 people in a random dream address to play hide and seek at, like, a quick drop of a button, like matchmaking, rather than having to wait 20 minutes. Like, I think they can do so much with it.
I'd agree with you. I mean, I think something that would be really good would be, say, like you said, sharing a dream address with your friends, and say, like, if they came over to your island and you all found one bed on the island, you could all share that dream, because some people do have, like, these amazing maze islands and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could do them together and make that kind of just, like, a really good collaborative thing. And speaking about Chase's channel, because we have always admired their island tours, I think for them especially, something really good to shake it up would be, like, people want the return of Brewster, because he had his own shop before, and so for most people have finished their islands now, it would be really good to shake it up a bit, and for them to say, okay, here's a new building, you need to find a place for that on your island now, and see how people kind of set the layout for that, because then it's going to make people more interested in island setup and island tours again, because it's like, okay, we've not actually finished our island, we do need to do something with this, what do we do with it?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't know. We obviously love Chase Crossing. I think without watching their videos, I don't even think we would have started doing, like, island tours, or we never would have wanted to reach out. So we do owe a lot to them. And I know that I've always kind of assumed that his, not downfall, because you're still incredibly popular, you're still making really cool videos, but I always
100%.
thought his downfall would be that quick success, and it just kind of convinced him to stop playing the YouTube game, because I noticed at the start, like, the titles always told you what the videos were going to be, like, medieval tour or underwater tour, and those were always so captivating.
And they stopped uploading anywhere near as much as well.
Because of those amazing titles and that amazing viewership, it's then got to a point where, I don't know, it almost seemed like he was comfortable with the success, and then he just makes titles that, this island is photogenic AF, which is fun, that's fine, it still got a lot of views, it was a great title, but in terms of the YouTube algorithm, it's only ever gonna hit the people that are already subscribed to him, and I don't know, but it could definitely be that the game's dying out a bit, but
he could be experience what we're experiencing, like a bit of writer's block, and be like, well, my island tours aren't doing that good anymore, what else can I do?
And I think he has branched out.
It is tricky. I know he brought in, like, Minecraft streams, and I think they died out.
Yeah, like Minecraft Monday.
Yeah, I guess that was his, like, attempt. But yeah, it's difficult. Very difficult. But I think, like, I'm optimistic. Well, I guess actually I was going to say I'm optimistic for the new year, but I guess we can talk about that in a second, right?
Yeah, of course. So we do have a New Year's podcast coming out later this month, and TJ is going to be featuring on that. So please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for when that's made available on the last Sunday of the month.
Very nice.
So,
but yeah, I think in terms of everything, like, it was a good discussion on the awards and Animal Crossing mainly as well.
I mean, I've had a really great time with this. I mean, thank you so much for being on the show. I mean, your channel is amazing. We can't recommend it enough. And to anyone listening to this right now, we're going to be premiering it. Please do check out TJ's channel. All links will be in the description. But I guess just, to kind of verbally state it, where can we find you on the internet?
I'm TJBurns. If you just search up TJBurns on YouTube, you can find me out there. I've got a Discord as well. We've got loads of giveaways and stuff going on. Find me on Instagram, TJBurns_gaming, and Twitter and Reddit as well, all the same names. So I'm pretty much everywhere. Most active on Discord and Twitter and Instagram, though, I think. Well, besides YouTube. But yeah, thank you so much for inviting me, JayBee and Millie. It's been a very nice conversation, actually. Definitely got my thoughts going and reminded me about Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I'm probably going to go off and play that.
Yeah.
And likewise, you've got a great channel. Hopefully you guys can continue to grow into the new year as well.
And thank you for reminding JayBee of Pokemon Go. We're driving over to see my parents later this month, and you can guarantee that he is going to have Pokemon Go open now. Oh my gosh, there's this one. Wait, drive slower. I need to get this.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much. We've enjoyed speaking with you so much. And again, thank you for agreeing to be on today.
So this has been another episode of the 5-Star Talk podcast. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to JayBee, Millie, and TJBurns.
Thank you.